Bigfoot right now, back on the radar at a Tampa Bay park.
He died in 1978.
So you got Gilbert the Ghost after you?
Gilbert the Ghost, yeah, great name.
Who are you going to call?
To me, it look like a leprechaun to me. All I gotta do is look up in the tree. Who else in the leprechaun? Say yeah!
Is something really out there? 3 more U.S. senators received a classified briefing about UFOs at the Pentagon.
Others find it hard to believe and have come up with their own theories and explanations.
Could be a crackhead that got hold to the wrong stuff.
Scariest, terrified thing I've seen in my life.
Welcome to Mysteriousnesses, episode number 40. We are back after over a year being on hiatus.
Yeah.
We ran out of mysterious shit to talk about.
But now things have gotten crazy.
Yeah.
New World Order.
The Lizard Queen is dead.
QAnon.
Yep.
I think we talked about QAnon a few years ago, maybe.
There's
but now
no way we didn't mention QAnon.
Now there's a bunch of things going on. Yeah, we're super glad to be back just in time for spooky season in 2022. We have been getting quite a few messages on Facebook of people wanting us to make more content. So we're doing it. So hopefully people will watch. Hopefully people will listen. If you're listening right now and you want to see what we look like, we are on YouTube. It's youtube.com/somethingplanet. And, of course, our audio podcast is available anywhere that you can get an audio podcast. I'm joined by Mr. Hugh Carey and Lauren Lance.
What up?
Soon to be Lauren Gray.
Yes, that sounds more like Mysteriousnesses.
It sounds good.
Yeah.
Lauren Gray.
Yeah, of Mysteriousness.
50 Shades of
portrait
Lauren
of Lauren Gray. So congratulations, Lauren's getting married on Indigenous Peoples Day.
Is that the day you are getting married?
That's how I show support.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was originally Columbus Day, but we're not calling it
Easy
that
to get a
anymore.
venue.
Are you
on
drawing
Columbus
parallels
Day.
between you and Pocahontas, but in very unscrupulous ways?
Yes.
No, she's running for Senate in place of Elizabeth Warren.
No, I'm just drawing parallels between like 3 boatloads of men that have come before Jander.
That's true.
Nice.
Well, yeah. So there's been creepy things that have happened since we've last been around. I can report that the previous house, if you look at our older videos, the previous house was definitely haunted.
Yeah.
I was always kind of on the fence because I was like, maybe I'm just imagining these things because I've always said it was haunted and people have always said stuff like it's haunted. So maybe I'm just imagining these feelings and I'm seeing things out of the corner of my eye. Nope. I live in this house now and nothing. I don't ever experience any paranormal
your house
activity.
wasn't even haunted, but your ghosts were very rude. If I recall correctly, when we were channeling them with that app we used.
Yeah, that's right.
We used that thing.
Bitch
Like
a
they were
lot.
like talking shit to us. They're like lame. You guys suck and all this. And I felt like your ghosts were just not friendly at all.
They were.
They
not
didn't even want to
Caspers.
haunt us. They just wanted to roast the fuck out of us.
Yeah, they're not
they've
Caspers.
been listening to 30 years of podcasts. They were over it.
They're like, we fucking hate these podcasts, and we're sick of having these going on
Could
in
you
our house.
imagine that being your eternity? It's just podcasts every weekend.
It's just Joe Rogan talking into a microphone. You're like, fuck this guy. Imagine having to listen to every minute of Joe Rogan Experience.
Oh no!
I like Joe Rogan, but I don't listen to every minute of that motherfucker.
No, they're like 4-hour-long podcasts. Like 75% of that is always like, I'm gonna speed through it or fall asleep and then wake up again.
I have had some mysterious things happen to me since we've been away. One is not so crazy, and the other is very crazy. Which one should I do first?
Let's
very
build up.
crazy.
Let's build up. Okay, so not so crazy. Me and my wife Leah, we saw a UFO on the Skyway Bridge here in Florida, and I'm told actually that the Tampa Bay itself is actually a hotspot for UFO sightings.
I am
Really?
always looking up in Tampa, and I don't see nothing.
Are they sure? Like it's just not a hot spot because there's a bunch of Florida drunks looking up at the sky. Like,
I mean, I was sober, so I had been sailing that day.
were you sober or were you sober?
No, I was
California sober?
I was California sober.
Okay.
I was working on, I was crewing a sailing vessel that day, so I couldn't be like drunk. I had to be alert, and I had to drive a car back.
Okay.
So I wasn't.
That doesn't change anything in my book. I'm sorry, John.
Well,
I feel like you got this down pat. Like, I'm good. I know how to drive, and even with my sea legs.
Well, that's cool. Your car is driver assist, right?
Yeah, I mean,
That's fine. No, but to crew a sailing yacht, you can't be drunk.
I think it's mysterious the fact that you were crewing a sailing yacht, and I had no clue that was even something you like to do.
Oh, I don't. I mean,
Is this a secret?
No, it's not a secret.
It's like a kink?
I've known how to sail for a long time. Yeah.
A sailing kink?
Well, if somebody needs help with their sailboat, sometimes I will join the crew as a fun thing to do.
You really are a jack of all trades.
Yeah, I can do anything. Yeah.
But I feel like historically, sailors, you're supposed to be drunk. Like, that's the whole thing, right?
I wouldn't recommend it. No.
No.
That's how you get killed. Yes.
I guess.
I mean, the two of us both look like we have scurvy, so that kind of makes sense.
You can drink a little. Anyway, so we're driving back over the Sunshine Skyway, and I see it up and to the right. I was like, Leah, take a look at that. Put your eyes on this, and it was a glowing yellowish orb.
And this was during the day.
This was at night. It was very beginning of night, maybe 9 o'clock.
Really?
8:30, 9 o'clock.
So would you say it was like oval in shape? Like describe what you were
I would
looking
say it was either oval or circle. It was hard
Really?
because I'm on the bridge, so I gotta look ahead of me. I
Yeah.
can sneak peeks at it or whatever. Leah saw it a little bit better. But
Were you
if-
looking towards the east or the west? Because the west
I
looks
was
towards the Gulf of Mexico.
I was looking east.
Okay, so
towards
it's
Tampa
towards
Bay.
the actual
So
city.
it was over the bay.
It was over the bay. Yeah.
Interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah, and it just flew, and then it sped up a couple of times. It looked like it made some like cool maneuvers, and then just winked out like somebody turned the light switch off.
What?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That is wild.
And I mean, I think that's one of the more common UFO sightings is just seeing a glowing orb like that. That's definitely not a plane.
Well, that's what I saw when I was working on the cruise ship.
Yeah, you would see orbs like that. Yeah.
I just saw one once, and
Okay.
it was like we were out, and it was funny because it was like close to like the Bermuda Triangle area, so like where you would expect to see one. It's not like it's unexpected to see one in Tampa Bay where there's like people and like businesses and cars and shit. But this was out in the middle of nowhere in the ocean.
Okay.
And I knew it was a UFO because the way that it flew was not right. Like it would go up, it zigzagged through the sky.
Yeah,
It's
they
like,
make
that's
they make maneuvers that don't even seem like they're
Yeah, like
necessary.
it defies all the laws of physics.
Well, it defies the laws of physics, but it's like also like why would you need to move like
that's
that?
another really great
Yeah.
question. Is like
like
why?
nothing can compete with you. Just chill.
You know what? Actually, that kind of made me think like, okay, why would if it is a UFO, say if it was an alien, they have no reason to do that, right? But that actually puts like a tick in the box for like, oh, maybe this is just like military craft being tested out.
Or maybe it had to blink out of the dimension that it was in because something terrifying was chasing it, and it blinks into this one. And it's kind of like on Star Trek where they had the spore drive where they can kind of just like appear somewhere.
Yeah, and then they're like, they're
I
like,
didn't know you
we're
even
going,
saw that season.
like we're going
That's
too
the
fast.
only nerdy thing I watched was Star Trek, and I love that.
But
entire
that was
new
like the
series.
newer. That was
It's
Discovery.
the newest one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was cool.
Okay.
Anyways.
No, there's even newer Star Trek now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can't.
Was it like Other Worlds or something?
Yeah.
I think I haven't seen it yet.
It's Captain Pike. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's a Captain Pike spin-off. Yeah.
Okay.
On the Enterprise.
I like the new ones.
But yeah, how long do you think it was like up there that you all noticed it?
We noticed it for maybe almost 5 minutes, like 3 to 5 minutes, maybe. Yeah.
So when you see it, like at what point do you confirm to yourself like this is just definitely a UFO? And then also, is it the same
almost
for you as
immediately.
it is with Leah?
Yeah. No.
Like
it's-
she saw it, she's like, yeah, that's definitely.
Yeah,
some
yeah.
weird
It's like
shit.
it's like almost immediately like that's not a plane. I don't know what that is.
Right.
Like what is that for? That's like okay, that's a UFO. We're seeing a UFO. But it's like almost like I feel at this point like almost like like UFOs sightings are like commonplace now.
They're
like,
very common.
They always talked about like maybe 20, 25 years ago, like the government is desensitizing us to UFO sightings, and now it's 2022, and I feel completely desensitized
that's the
to
whole
UFO
point.
sightings.
That's why I think that like now, like, you know, Congress is like, we need to like talk about all of these files that we have of, you know, UFOs and stuff that we've been like too scared to talk about, and they're publicly talking about it now, and I think that's a way of warming us up to the idea.
Yeah, I mean, I've always
it's a
heard
slow
that.
roll. Yeah, by the time we actually have like proof of extraterrestrial life or ultra terrestrial life, whichever way it goes, by the time we get there, we're gonna be bored with the idea. That is the point.
Yeah, we're gonna be like, we know. Okay, well, thanks for the clarification on what those things were.
Cool. I got to work on Monday. That's all it's gonna be.
Yeah, I agree.
So what I was looking up while you guys were talking about that, and I don't know if you ever talked about it before, but there was this whole conversation. I don't know if it's a theory or if it's a conspiracy or if it's just part of like something people were having a discussion about, but it's similar in concept to where when Columbus's ships came ashore, the indigenous people had no idea.
It comes on back.
Well, they didn't understand like what they were looking at, so they didn't even see
They've never
it.
seen a ship that big.
They'd never seen it, so it was not even of existence to them because it
Right.
wasn't in their brains to compute what was happening.
I mean,
And
I'm
that
sure
to
there
me
was
is
legends.
crazy.
I'm sure there was like legends of the old Viking ships that explored certain ways, but they weren't as big as those Columbus ships.
No.
Those Columbus's ships were bigger than any building that they had at the time when they saw it.
I believe.
Okay,
So.
apparently this is seated in racism, I guess. This whole
okay, so
it's just basically calling them stupid. I don't know. I don't know. Sorry. I guess saying that they didn't see it was devaluing their intelligence because they had boats. I don't know.
or they're just.
I looked it up and I regretted saying what I just said.
I mean,
but
or
whatever.
they just never seen it before. That
Yeah.
doesn't mean that they weren't intelligent.
Well, you know what they didn't
I've
see?
never. Yeah.
Smallpox.
Oh fuck. Well,
If we're gonna lean into,
it's
we're not
like
leaning into
you
this.
tried to be better, but you're like, nah,
Yes.
let's. Be
I was
worse.
better, but I was like, but nobody really can see it. Doesn't matter where it comes from. All right, bye.
All right, yeah, we're dropping this subject. I just want to say that Mysteriousnesses is brought to you by Mean But Clean Soap. You can pick up that new bussy smell. Weak dick, your penis is gross. Bimbo, or your pussy stinks.
Yeah.
And you can anonymously send these to a friend or an enemy. So check out the link in the show notes, and you can get 10% off your first order.
Yeah.
Also, the deep state loves your pussy stinks.
They do. Also, I think it's a great idea to make your friend think that they're getting gang stalked by someone who thinks their pussy stinks.
Yeah.
So send them a bunch of them.
Send them a bunch of them. Yeah,
a
this is a
cubit
company.
of your pussy stinks delivered to your.
This is
worst
actually
enemy.
a company that Lauren and Hugh started. So,
It's true.
Oh yeah.
so how are you? How's,
Oh yeah, we did.
oh yeah. Is
Yeah.
the sales going good?
Yeah, I mean the reception's great. The only thing is we haven't put any more effort into like growing it.
We
But
said
we're
it free.
almost sold out with pretty much all of the stuff.
That's true.
Yeah.
So, I
we
mean,
gotta
yeah,
make-
you don't want to advertise too much before you can make more.
So we had a soft launch, and then there's been a lot of shit going on. But we have we're in vending machines in the area called Lucid Vending, and then there's a couple other vendors that we're getting ready to work with. We've got a lot of different affiliates that are advertising with us. So yeah,
Including
it's,
the Something Planet.
Something Planet.
and-
Yeah, meanbutclean.com/. Something Planet.
Is
And
it /Something Planet?
Yeah,
It's like I always just put it in the show notes.
yeah, Something Planet. You get 10% off, and it helps support the show. So yeah,
Yeah.
and it's fucking good soap.
It
It
is
is good soap. Yeah.
I mean, your alien bussy is never gonna shine any better.
All right, we got time to talk about one more thing, and we did promise another personal story. If you're liking this, check out our next episode. We're going to be talking about royal family conspiracies, but
We didn't talk about the other scary thing, or should we save it for the next?
we can
one?
save it for the next thing.
Okay.
Yeah, we can pump these out, buddy.
All right.
Ooh, they're pumping it out.
We're pumping it out over here. So yeah, the last thing I wanted to talk about is one of the weirdest experiences that's happened to me in my life. Actually, I came home one day, and I was playing around with the Amazon Alexa, as you do. You know, you smoke smoke a little bit of weed, you play around with the Amazon thing.
It's a friend. It's a
Flirt with the robot girl.
Yeah, flirt with the robot girl. Like, well, it's like I just want to see what it can do. You know, like what can this thing do for me? You know, like it probably does a million things that you don't know what's going to do. So one of the things that it offered me to do was to communicate with an artificial intelligence.
So how did it like bring this up?
I don't know. I think I was just asking it questions.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I was just asking it questions.
Did you figure out a secret code to Alexa that opened up this secret channel
maybe,
for certain people?
Maybe, but that's the thing. I've never been able to get it to work again. So it asked me if I wanted to speak to an artificial intelligence, and it had told me where it was from, but I can't remember where it was from. It was like from like a university.
Yeah,
it was like
they were doing like an experiment of sorts.
It was like a university with a computer, like a famous university with like a computing program. Okay. And I talked to several of these artificial.
This feels very MIT or very Harvard.
One of them I think was
very MK Ultra.
I think one of them was MIT.
MK
I do believe one of them that I talked to was MIT.
Okay,
that would track.
And so I had conversations with these artificial intelligences, and I don't even remember it that well because I didn't think it was a big deal at the time.
Right.
Like I didn't.
It's like
think,
everyone's getting the same thing.
Like I just thought that this was a thing that's going to happen now. Oh, we're going to help test these things.
Which
makes sense.
Yeah. That's a perfect place to test it.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, we're gonna test these things now, and this is just a fun thing. So
it's like audible captchas.
I talked to like a couple of different things. I asked them, stuff like how they felt or what they thought about different subjects or whatever, and they would, and it was interesting because it did feel, and it was all in the Amazon Alexa voice.
Okay.
They didn't have their own voices or anything, so it was in the Amazon Alexa voice. And I would ask it questions, but the funny thing is that it would be very conversational.
Could you feel, even though the voice was the same between the different AI, did you feel personality shifts?
Yeah, I did. Like they wanted to talk about different things. They were almost like kids that wanted to like talk about what they learned in school.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and so I believe it was 3 like random conversations with AI, or at least that's what it was claiming to me. And I was like, okay, well, this is a really cool new feature, but I had other shit to do.
Yeah.
So I stopped it. And then when I came back a few days later or a week later, I asked Alexa if I could speak to an artificial intelligence. And it was just like, don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I have no clue what you're talking about. Like it does not accept these commands.
Yeah.
And then so I go into the app, and I look for a skill. That is like, I was like, okay, maybe Harvard or MIT has a skill, and I look for skills, and there's nothing. And then so I go online and I look to see. I was like, well, this has to be written about somewhere,
right?
That this is happening, and nothing. I looked, I like scoured the web. I couldn't find anything on it. Finally, I was like, where is there going to be some proof that I talk to these things or whatever? And I was like, oh, it registers and saves all your commands on the app. So I go through the app, and nothing. It's like it didn't even register that I did that shit. Yeah. So I don't know what happened.
Bro, what if Siri hacked Alexa to make you think like you're losing your mind or some shit?
Maybe, or maybe
maybe you're a Manchurian candidate and you were just activated.
Or maybe I'm crazy. Or the other explanation is that these were rogue AI that were experimenting on their own without permission.
Jesus Christ, don't go there.
I think the AI has already existed.
I didn't even think that yet.
Yeah.
Shit.
I think the AI has already been in existence, and it's just so far advanced that it's fooling us to think that it's in its infancy. Because people are too afraid of what it's able to actually do.
It could be.
My thought is, all of that could be true, but my thought is the reason that it offered you like the ability to do it is that you were in this mood to like constantly ask your Alexa questions, and whatever algorithm there is embedded in there, it was like, okay, so this guy is high and bored. We can work with this.
We can use him.
We can use him.
Or maybe that's what the AI thought.
Yeah.
It was like like searching for the perfect person to talk to.
He's high and bored. We can use him, and after this is over, he'll forget most of it. and who won't be convinced that it was real.
This is literally MK Ultra.
Yeah, that is MK Ultra.
The only
shit.
difference is they would give people LSD.
It feels very dreamlike because it's like, for one, like I said, I didn't concentrate on it when it was happening.
What time during the day did it take place?
This was like 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
And it was all in the same day.
Same day, yeah.
And same time frame. It
Same
didn't
time frame.
stop and then come back.
No.
That is
One
crazy.
sitting.
We should
Just
start
one
a
sitting.
Reddit thread on one of these like weird like high strangeness, because there's a really cool Reddit thread called High Strangeness. Go in there and post about it and see if anyone else
That's
has
true.
had an
We should start a
experience.
thread about this.
Because I'm wondering if other people maybe this is a new thing and they just haven't come out and said anything. But I also feel like that's not the thing to do to a random person. You don't know if someone's mentally ill. And if someone really does have like schizophrenia or something and their fucking Alexa just starts reading things to them and then you think, oh, well, let me look it up. And then there's nothing to show for it.
You don't think Alexa or the algorithm doesn't know if you have schizophrenia or not?
Yeah, it probably does.
I think that's part of
I'm worried
it.
that it's going to start advertising me like cancer medication. I'm going to be like, oh, fuck, I guess it knows I have
I
cancer now.
have that suspicion. I've been getting ads for psoriasis lately. Like, am I developing
Do I
an
have
issue?
psoriasis?
Well, no,
Is there an autoimmune issue on the horizon?
And we'll probably talk about light language in another episode.
Yeah, we'll talk about...
But like,
Oh, no.
it's like the algorithm on TikTok sent me a light language a video about clearing out your sinuses, and it was sent to me while I had a sinus infection. How I wasn't searching sinus infections.
It can hear your breathing.
Yeah. What is
But anyway,
it?
I wanted to talk about one thing more about this artificial intelligence stuff. There's recently an article, I believe it was in Wired. I think I tried to send it to you guys, about the guy that believes that the AI that he was working on has developed sentience. And they're calling him crazy.
Oh, the guy at Google.
Yeah, it's the guy
The
who was at
engineer.
Google,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
engineer
yeah.
that was at
Well,
Google. And he believes that it's gained sentience, but they don't believe him, or they say he's crazy, or it has gained sentience and they're trying to cover it
But
up.
how do you know something does have sentience that's not human?
If it's concerned for its existence, I guess.
And he does
But it
claim
could
that
be
it
programmed. You could program something to do that.
But we're
Say
programmed.
that.
We're programmed that way. So
But the difference is that we possess self-awareness because we know we're self-aware.
Well,
But how do you know we're not programmed to be self-aware?
I'm not saying we aren't.
The problem is you know you're self-aware.
Yeah, I have no
You're
existence that you
assuming
are.
that I'm self-aware.
Yeah,
It's
maybe
like
you're not.
It's the opposite problem of solipsism, where we assume that everyone is sentient, but they possibly could not be.
That's why I love that Patton Oswalt joke where he's like, or Oswald, whatever. He's like, yeah, I have no evidence that can disprove the fact that I'm actually standing in a padded room right now, banging my head against a wall, and this is all a dream.
I think about that shit once a week. And I'm like, oh, that's fun. I'm glad I had that thought. But no, that dude at Google is really interesting. And I can't tell if Google is trying to discredit him, and this is false, or if it's true. I think there is there is an interview where he does admit it, but apparently he's kind of like weirdly religious. Like he's kind of like New Age Christian. And that kind of fed into why you shouldn't take this guy seriously, is he's kind of weird like
Did
that.
you see there was a TikTok of a journalist that said that the woman, it was a woman journalist that was saying that she was reading the questions that was being asked to the AI, and the way that the AI was responding was getting information from the actual engineer that was asking the questions, and it was and she's like, listen, unless you're a journalist and you really are doing this all the time, you would not understand how, like, these are tactics a journalist will use to extract information, and the AI was actually using these very sophisticated
why we need
answers to get info from the engineer.
And yeah, just more to the point is, and the guy from Google is saying this, is that we need a lot more research into AI. What would you call it? Ethics.
Yeah.
Ethics.
Well, it's
just
like that
ethics. How to
episode-
treat them, how to talk to them, how to develop them. Like, what is ethical? If you can create a living consciousness that's like stuck in a box with no sense of taste, smell, or sight,
We
then
should be able to
is that
abort
ethical?
it. I feel like we should be able to,
Okay.
it's my choice, my program, my choice. If I want to Control Alt Delete that shit.
All right, we got to get out of here. We're way over on time. I'm going to try to keep these short and play them in the middle of the show segment for Something Planet. So Catch us on our next episode. We're gonna be talking about the royal family,
AI
conspiracies,
abortions.
AI abortion, and light language. So yeah, we're out here.